For one of the very first times ever, I hired some help. And then for one of the very first times ever, I fired somebody. If you look behind me, maybe you've already noticed this, maybe it's not coming out on camera, but this is a window that I had somebody come in and help me out and install. So I met this person on a Facebook group who's around this area, sent me all these pictures of him doing interior work and painting and so on and so forth. I was like, I don't need painting, but I do have a couple of windows and some sheetrock that I need tape and floated. He's like, yeah, I do that. Okay. So he comes in, gets here early, works like right away. 2 hours later, I come downstairs. He just got the window out. Great guy, right? He's never gonna see this, so I can say whatever I want about him. But, you know, it took him 2 hours just to get the window out. While editing this, I realized that I don't really know how to install a window myself, but I have seen windows get installed, and I know for sure that you shouldn't be able to see outside around the windows, and this caulk should actually be insulation, and the window should be straight. And even though I redid this window and 2 other windows in the same amount of time that it took him to do this one, I respect the dude's hustle and drive. By the way, this is my buddy Danny. He got up early and helped me redo this window. Long story short, a couple hours went by and then I had a couple other windows he was gonna do, and on the spot I had to tell him, thank you, I'll pay you for this window, but I'm gonna do the rest myself and make a video out of it. And listen, the guy was great. He's a class act dude. He got here on time and he worked hard the entire time. I just should have done my research and made sure he had done something like this before. I would definitely hire him again for painting or for he does framing, things like that, but not something that I haven't seen his resume on. That's just a good business management thing, I guess, there that I've never had experience in. So you learn, time to do it myself like everything else. So this is the window I'll be doing here, which is in, like, we call it Josh's room.
It's your boy! Josh.
It's the other guest room that hasn't been touched yet. I'm gonna leave the other window that I have to replace to a different day. But this one does require me to cut out some framing down here and add some more support jack studs, whatever you call them, all that. The reason I hired this out in the first place was to save me a couple of days because this does take me a few hours to do. I've already done it in the guest bathroom, as you saw probably a fast frame for it already. If not, I'll show it to you right now. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. Here's the window that I did. It took about 3 hours for me to do. It ran into late into the night, so I'm hoping that this one will take even less than 3 hours, although now I'm recording a little bit more. But I do have more work with the framing to do, but now I know how to do it. I've done it already, and let's just do it. Let's just go. I have this window here by Pella. It's a little bit bigger than the window that's currently here, but just height-wise, so I'm gonna cut this out. You'll see all this, you'll see it. Another thing is I had everything laid out on like a platter too. Right now I'm going up the stairs, back and forth, back and forth. Now it's the correct width. Gotta mess with the height. Now I'm gonna hang up some scrap on the outside of the house that just overhangs the window a little bit. I already have a piece right here, but this will give me something to butt my window up against, the outside of the window up against. And then eventually I'll come back and surround the window with appropriate trim. There we go. And see, ideally the trim would be here, the real trim, and then you would caulk right here and then push the window against it. But instead I'm gonna have to caulk the trim when it's off and then reapply it to the front of the window. For anyone who's ever tried to install sheetrock before and you got one of those drywall guns, there's actually a little bit you can buy. Let me clarify that. It's a little bit right there. Why does it keep clearing up my face? There we go. See that little drill bit? It makes it where this can only go so far so it doesn't push the screws too far through the sheetrock. Makes it a lot quicker. It's a lot cheaper than buying or renting a gun. This room here is our room downstairs with our queen size bed, and there's one outlet right there in the middle. So we'll be able to power a lamp on one side and a lamp on the other, but then there's no more outlets for someone to plug their phone in or something like that, alarm clocks. So we could get a lamp that has an outlet on it or a USB port on it, but we're just thinking the walls are already off. Might as well have an outlet on that side of the bed and then one on the other side of the bed. I'm so out of breath after that hike. Have y'all seen that hike? Let's cut to it. Do it again. All right, let's divide this outlet. And that's all it takes to go from one outlet to two outlets in the same circuit. It's extremely easy. Wire coming in over here, wire going out and ending there. That's the last outlet on my entire circuit. I could probably run a couple more through here if I wanted to, but I have enough outlets now. This is for an Airbnb investment property, so we want the guests to be comfortable. I want my family and myself to be comfortable if I stay in here. So that's why we're kind of going all out and above and beyond in this case. Then we've got some recessed lights. I'll have a video on that linked somewhere right up here or down in the description, so check it out. Well, my memory card died last night when I was filming some video. I don't remember where I left off either, but that's it for the window installation videos. Remember to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And lesson learned, before you hire someone, make sure you see some of their images or past work projects. Call references, I guess, which I'd probably never do myself because I hate calling. Do your due diligence anyway. The sheetrockers downstairs though, I didn't see any of their past work, but they came in with stilts and all kinds of the tools and equipment needed to do the job. So right away I was like, okay, this is a change of pace. And sure enough, they're 3 days in and it looks beautiful. They have 1 day left and it's all done and ready to be painted downstairs. So those 2 rooms will be all done except for the carpet, which we have a date of a couple weeks out, which is unfortunate because we want this done like in a week. But it's all coming together. Thank you for watching another episode in the cabin flip. I'll see you on the next one.